Hey guys, and welcome back to the SkyeTec training videos. Today we're going to be going over the HERS Final. Now the HERS Final and the TCI Final are identical in every step of the way, so for any questions about how a TCI Final operates, you can refer back to this video. They are identical in every way except for name. So as usual, when opening up an inspection, you'll be taken to the work order information page. You will not be able to proceed without selecting address verified. In addition, if you need to make a contact one of the superintendents, you can do so by clicking view list and selecting their cell phone number next to their name. The next page is the base information page. So condition space and permit number, if they are filled out, will be pulled in through SkyeTrack. If you do not see something in condition space, you can of course identify that from the energy calcs at the job site. If you need to make changes, you can also do so to that field. Now, one of the differences between the HERS and TCI finals that separates them from the Energy Star final is the option to choose whether or not you're doing the whole house ventilation. So if you've identified that there is a strategy that you would like to record, you can select yes. Otherwise, if you will not be documenting any step of whole house ventilation, then you can select no. What I'm going to do now is briefly go to that page to show you what selecting no does. This page will hide all the available fields, telling you that it is not needed so that you can continue to scroll. And then on the validation fields, they will automatically be validated so that you don't have to worry about going back and filling anything out unnecessarily. So I'm going to go back and select yes, so that for the rest of the video, we will step through it as if there was a whole house ventilation that I wanted to identify or test. Fill out any information that it asks you on this page. Select your orientation, and we will leave Minneapolis as the default for system. Next is the equipment list page. Now this differs from the Windows application, and you will notice as I scroll through the HERS Final in this video that some of the pages will be not in the order that you are accustomed to if you've used the tablet version in the past. So with this, you will just go through and walk the home left to right, filling out the information applicable for that home. And you will do so for all of the fields. Next, for any pictures that you need to take, you can select the camera button on the bottom right. If this is the first time that you are taking a photo, you will be asked to give permissions to the mobile application. You can do so by pressing allow, and it'll enable the camera. Take your picture, and you have the option to retake it by selecting the left button if it's not exactly correct, and selecting it and saving it with the blue check mark. And this feature is available on almost every page, so wherever you see this button, you can activate it and take a picture. Once you've walked the home and selected all the information that is, necessary for that home, you'll go on to the very next page, the attic exterior doors. Now, this page is where you'll record the information regarding the attic insulation. So if there is not anything there, you could of course fill it out as such. But it is important to note that there is a requirement for this page to be filled out. Since we do not have a grading that is worse than 3, you can select 3 for whenever you do not have anything to identify. And then of course take a picture of the attic showing that it is uninsulated if that is the case, or an obstruction that prevents you from getting into the attic. Now, since on the previous page I had selected yes for whole house ventilation, I'm able to see everything on this page now. One of the differences between this page and the Energy Star page is I'm not concerned with bedroom pressure or the exhaust fans. I simply have an option to choose the strategy that the home has, additional results if they're necessary, and static pressure readings if I decide to do that test as well. If I select yes, the only thing required to fill out here on this page is an option. So if you select exhaust, you will see right under that the exhaust will show up, allowing me to fill out the airflow. I've gotten a min and max range pulled in here from SkyeTec. If I type in a value that is less than -10 or greater than 20, I will be told that the exhaust test failed. If I decide to record additional information, I can of course fill out the test results here, and you will see that I am given a sum of 50 plus 36. Let's go ahead and fill one out for system 2 as well. Now I'm showed that the combined is 97, which well exceeds the max of 20, so this home would fail. The mobile application does not automatically fail, so as the inspector, we'll have to record that in the back of our minds for the last page of the inspection. Once I'm done with this page, I can proceed to the blower door. Another difference between HERS Finals, TCI Finals, and the ENERGY STAR Finals is that ENERGY STAR is locked to multi-point inspection. With HERS and TCI, I as the inspector had the choice to choose between single point and multi-point inspection. For multi-point inspection, I recommend that you watch the ENERGY STAR video. For this purpose, we will just leave it at a single point inspection. I'll fill out my wall height, and I'll record the fan pressure from the manometer. Then of course, I would take the picture of that manometer and record the information present for the inside and outside temperatures. If there is elevation difference recorded, I will put that in the application as well. When it comes time to fill out my code blower door paperwork, you can scroll down to the bottom and you will see all the data necessary to transcribe that information for the superintendent. Additionally, the CNR results is shown, but this is not applicable for single point inspections. If you're doing a multi-point inspection and you are out of range, the blower door will not be valid and you will have to go back and likely re-record some of your data. Next are my duct blaster total and outside test pages. The pages are identical in all fields and systems and function the same. One difference here is that as you fill out information for a system, given that this is a HERS or a TCI home, we will have to check our energy calcs to see what the allowable passing limit is. At an ENERGY STAR home, the allowable limits are dictated by the standard of the program, and so you'll be given a different warning if any of your values exceed the max allowable limit. So, when completing a HERS final or a TCI final, make sure to review your energy calculation sheet to see what the total QN is allowed to be at. I had stated previously that the square footage was 1250. So, if this was a one system home, I would say 1250 for the individual square foot. This is going to be identical then in the total results seen at the bottom. If I were doing a second system and recorded the fan pressure for that, I would try to refer to the energy calcs as best as possible to determine what the individual square footage would be for those systems. You'll now see that each system has a different QN. However, down at the bottom, I have a different QN of 11% that is shown. Any pictures that you take throughout the inspection will show up here on Final Pictures. After you've collected, you can go through and review all the pictures necessary, selecting the one that would be the front elevation. The application will highlight that so that you are able to determine which photo you selected. The final page is the pass or fail page. If there were no issues with the home that would deem a failure, you will select pass. At this point, you are not required to leave any comments, but you are encouraged to leave additional feedback to the builder if possible. When I go and select next, you will see that pass-fail is validated. Now, let's change that to fail, given that in this example, the ACH 50 was well over 7. If I try to submit, I will not be able to do so until I leave comments. As the inspector, you will be required to fill out any information necessary to relate to the builder what was wrong and why you failed the home. This is to replace the emails that were being sent out previously outside of the application. Now, for sake of submitting this, let's go back and quickly fill out the equipment list. As you can see, there are several brand options to choose from. If there is not one, you can fill it out as such. Identify the locations for the units that you tested. Find the company name and any other relative information to this inspection. One thing to note here is that if you find a brand that is not listed, you can select Other, and then you can type out the brand that you would like to choose and its respective model number. So I've almost got everything selected here, at which point everything should be validated and we could submit this inspection. Collect my fans, how many lights, how many were qualified, number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, radiant barrier, and then this home, for example, we'll say is a slab on grade. For other options, you're more than welcome to select whatever is applicable to the home you're testing. Let's take a few more pictures just to get these showing up on the final pictures page. And there they are. Great. So it looks like everything is completed. We'll select Inspection Complete and go to Completed Work Orders. Now, this job does not have a check mark, which means it has not been submitted. In order to do so, I'll have to press Sync on the top right. Once it's finished completed, you'll see this pop-up message. Just scroll down or leave the page and come back to get the check mark to appear, which means that the home has been successfully sent, and the next time you send jobs, this home will not need to be sent again. If you're ever asked correct information and need to reopen the work order, simply open it, go through the inspection, verify if there's anything that you need to change. As you can see, all the information that we filled out moments ago is still here. I'm not going to go and change anything. I'm going to go back to completed work orders, and the check mark is still there.